Yeah, what's going on?
Well, we're here at an emergency rally organized by members of CUPE 3903 and all our numerous allies, as you can see. Really, rather unfortunately, the Ginty government has decided to try and enact back-to-work legislation for the striking workers at York University. They've done this declaring that both sides are at a deadlock, which is actually not true. We've been at the bargaining table, ready to be at the bargaining table every day since November 6th, and we've been there solidly for the last couple of days. We've changed our position yet again, so we've dropped our demands. York has refused to bargain with us, and by refuse, I don't mean just, oh, we're not really sure. I mean utterly coming back with nothing. It's really unfortunate. Enacting back-to-work legislation like this sets a really dangerous precedent for all public sector unions in the province and in the country by not putting pressure on the York administration to settle with their employees. Basically, the message they're sending is that as long as you wait long enough, the government will step in to rescue you, and that really sends a dangerous message to all the employers of the province. Good timing!
And when the universities in this province continue to shift work from full-time stable jobs to more and more precarious and contract work, and say that they believe in decent work for all, I don't think they're telling us the truth. I think it's fundamental that your struggle reflects the yearning for everybody, every working family in this province, to have the right to stable, decent, full-time employment that pays a living wage. Am I right? So, sisters and brothers, that's why we're here today. To tell the Premier he's wrong for bringing in this legislation. To tell our friends in the New Democratic Party that they're right for standing up for the fundamental rights of working women and men in this province.
We in 3903 have been negotiating in good faith since day one. Since day one, we've been going to the bargaining table and every day saying, we want to negotiate. Please come back, we want to negotiate. This legislation is not just a slap in the face of 3903, but for all working people across Ontario.
This Premier only calls back the legislature when it's to take rights away from workers who've been on a picket line for 74 days. And an employer that's only come back to the table 11 times over that 74 days. I don't believe this government has met the test to bring in legislation that removes your rights. I believe there has to be a proven impasse. And how can that be so when this local rejected the final offer by the employer and straight away issued a press release to say, we want to go back to the table, and the university basically said, go screw yourself, we're going to wait for Dalton to give us legislation to put you back to work.
Well, I'm not a member of 3903, but I stand in solidarity as a student who shares many colleagues in the union. I think they're fighting the good fight for the future of university education in the province and really across North America. The precarious employment situation that's spreading across universities in North America will continue to be a problem if unions don't dig in their heels and fight the good fight. Fighting for basic labor rights for university employees is the same fight as the 40-hour work week was. It's the same fight as minimum wage. It's the same fight as basic fair wages and good working conditions for all laborers.
There's been a lot of dissent, especially if you go on things like Facebook forums and like a lot of local sites, Toronto's, Blog.to, thestar.com, etc. A lot of dissenters and a lot of students who seem to just be very anti-union. Anything to say to them about what, are they missing something, or they have it, or are they just frustrated? What do you think?
Unfortunately, in the current economic situation, the majority of society seems to be failing to grasp the continued importance of trade unionism. I understand and I sympathize with people who have been inconvenienced by this, but I need to assure them that unions are fighting for all of our rights. They're fighting for fair working conditions, fair wages for all employees, all laborers across sectors.
And this won't just matter while these people are in school, because is it gonna carry over like later on to whatever sectors they may go into?
Absolutely. Rights fought and won by unions today carry over into all sectors. You have unions to thank for the 40-hour work week. I know that's said very often, but it's often forgotten. You have unions to thank for health care benefits. You have unions to thank for your dental benefits, for all of the benefits that we take for granted in this province, but we're hard won and hard fought.
You put an offer on the table earlier that said you would agree to what the university was offering in terms of pay, but you wanted things like job security addressed. You wanted things like being paid above the poverty line addressed, and the university refused to negotiate. So I say to you, I wish we were here under different circumstances today, but I want to give you the credit that you are due for raising issues in Ontario that need to be raised for all workers, for all university students, and for all people who care about the future of this province. We are not going to allow them to continue this manipulation. We're going to vote against the legislation today. We're going to deny passage today, and we're going to insist that the valid points that you raise are known by people across Ontario. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for your effort. Stay strong, my friends.